Hey there, Altenew friends, it's Jaycee. I hope you're staying well. It's no surprise I love floral cards. I'm always trying to find ways to make my floral cards better and more innovative, as I know many of you share the same excitement over Altenew's designs. So today with the April 2020 Make a Statement stamp release, let's actually make a statement with what I feel is a must-have for any floral card stash. The envelope art stamp set, in my opinion, is not only for envelopes. I want to bring the stamp set from the packaging to the card and show you 3 ways you can pair the Altenew florals with this crafty essential. The layering guide found on the Altenew stamp packaging shows you how to layer these stamps to get dimensional banners. They are perfect for addressing an envelope for your faraway friends, or in our case today, to add to our statement on our floral cards. So here in my mini MISTI, I've got the single curved banner inked and stamped, and now I'm stamping the curved banner folds. You can rotate these ribbon folds to suit whichever direction you want your banner to fold. In my case, this is the general look of my banner. Of course, you can connect all these images together for a solid image, but I'm going to take it up a notch for my cards. I'll take my scissors and cut out the 3 stamped images. I'll verify that I have the correct layout and set this aside while I work on the second part of this card. Now I have Garden Picks 3D dice set as well as Summer Afternoon and Seashore Gradient cardstocks from Altenew. I won't show you all the die cutting as I simply followed the easy to layer guide from the die set packaging. I'll set the flowers aside and come back to the banner ribbon. I'll admit I should have done this next part before cutting out the banner, but oh well. I'm going to temporarily adhere the banner to my MISTI so I can stamp the sentiment onto it. I'm using the sentiment strips 2 from the same Make a Statement release. I'm taking this centering grid I made using acetate and laying it over the banner. You can easily use the packaging your Altenew stamps come in to make your own, but because of the sticky properties of Altenew's high-quality photopolymer stamps, I'm going to use the stick to gently curve the stamp to fit the curvature of the ribbon banner. Once I feel I have a good alignment and the text curves make sense, I'll pick up the stamp with the lid of the MISTI. I'll remove the acetate sheet and now my stamp is perfectly aligned to stamp onto my ribbon. I'll use Altenew's Obsidian ink as I want the impression to be super black. Then I'll grab my ribbon pieces again and use Morning Frost Altenew Artist Marker to add some slight shading to the banner. I made a quick textured background panel with Altenew Watercolor Stripe Stencil and dry embossing it through my die cutting machine. I added some splatters with the 14 metallic watercolor pan set in copper and a water brush. Okay, now for the assembly. I did a quick layout with the flowers, banner front, and 2 folds. Nothing is glued down yet, so I saved this layout by taking a quick snap with my phone. To assemble this dimensional banner, the process is going to be the same for the rest of the cards. I'm starting from the back of the scene and working my way forward. That means I'm gluing down the ribbon folds first. I'm verifying the alignment of these folds by overlaying the most foreground banner on top of the flowers, so I'm sure I'm not leaving a gap in the banner. Then I'll glue down and arrange the Garden Picks flowers and leaves, and make sure I leave some of the black shadow exposed on the ribbon folds. I intentionally left a hole in the center of the floral arrangement so I could foam mount the ends of the text banner and the center to my cardstock. I added a few satin gold sequins from Altenew on top of the arrangement, and that's the end of this first example using envelope art and Garden Picks 3D die set. Honestly, this card was inspired by those mom tattoos with the ribbon and flowers, so this one is perfect for Mother's Day or any day for mom. For this second example, let's grab the straight banners and stack the ribbons in envelope art stamp set. I've already prepped my white cardstock for heat embossing, and today I'll be using Platinum Crisp embossing powder. I'll heat emboss 2 of the ribbon folds, 1 of the solid ribbons, and 2 of the layering ribbons for this 3-tiered ribbon banner. With the previous example, I used a floral die set. For this example, I'll grab an outline floral set, and this one is the 6x8 Wild Flora stamp set. I picked this stamp set in particular because of the included sentiments. I'll stack and arrange the sentiments in the banner so that they read, "For all you do," "For brightening my world," "For being so awesome." Then I'll use a black fine tip pen and add some ellipses between the sentiments so that they read as a continuous sentence. Now I'll cut out all the banner pieces. I used a craft knife and ruler to make sure I get straight cuts, and you'll see the resulting pieces I end up with. In summary, any of the solid embossed images are going to be in the back, and banner texts go to the front. Assembling this arrangement is going to be well worth the effort for this dimensional card. For now, I'll set these 7 pieces aside and work on the rest of the card. I stamped and heat embossed the 2 large images from Wild Flora and made a stacked cut of these. I used black cardstock to give the slightest shadow behind these 2 floral images. Then I made a dotted background using Dainty Swiss Dots background stamp set from Altenew and Cool Summer Nights layering inks. So those are all my pieces. Let's assemble this card. I'm planning where this cascading banner is going to overlay the floral images, verifying the gap between the banners is uniform by using the solid embossed ribbon bits. Once I like the way the banner is laying on top of the flowers, I'll just take the center banner and lay it on top of the background, no glue. Then I'll glue down the top and bottom solid embossed ribbons, aligning to this center text. I'll remove the center text once the 2 images are in place and bring back the flowers. I'll glue down these flowers on top of the wrap banner. Then I'll align the 3 text pieces and foam mount them where necessary to make them float on top of the flower arrangement, aligning the text banners to the wrap banner behind the flowers. If it helps, remember you can always reference the layering guide found in the Altenew packaging to make sure the image lines up correctly. Then I'll align the folded banner pieces behind the first and third lines of the text and glue those down as well. And after adding some antique gold sequins, that finishes this really shiny card. Oh, and I finished the sentiment on the front of the card by stamping on the inside. So now it reads, "For all you do, for brightening my world, for being so awesome, thank you." And that's how I used envelope art with Wild Flora for a perfect outline floral pairing. No coloring skill needed. Okay, for this last example, hopefully you've gotten a hang of what I'm doing here. So I've grabbed the curved layering banners, stamped them in Silver Lake crisp ink, and cut out the images resulting in 5 pieces. Instead of stamping the sentiment directly on this banner, I'm going to use the sentiment die to make the statement for me. I used this Altenew thank you die and created a stacked die cut with black and this gold glitter cardstock. I'll set this aside and grab another floral stamp set. If you are a longtime subscriber to the Altenew Build-A-Flower, you'll recognize this older Build-A-Flower Anemone. I've simply followed the layering guide on the stamp packaging as always, and stamped the images multiple times on a piece of white cardstock. Honestly, I took this color palette and sentiment directly from the inspiration guide. I think it was Lydia in her crafty corner who made this card I'm referring to. Anyway, after die cutting out the images with the coordinating dies and my mini blossom die cutting machine, I've set everything aside and made a quick background. Of course, my go-to background is with some splatters, so I made a mess with citrine metallic watercolor on white cardstock. Okay, so now let's assemble this card. Again, from back to front, I'm adhering the wrapped back ribbon to the background first, ensuring the alignment with the 2 foreground banners. I darkened this piece a little bit with WG03 Altenew Artist Marker. Then I arranged and adhered the flowers and foliage on top of the darkened wrapped banner piece. I am making sure that the entire arrangement doesn't cover that background piece to give the illusion that the ribbon truly envelops the flowers. Then I tucked in and adhered the banner ends behind the flowers and leaves, making sure those align correctly as well. Finally, the sentiment goes right on top of the entire banner for a more modern and romantic look. I also have the happy birthday die that is similar in font to this thank you one, so you can interchange this for any occasion. I finished this card with satin white sequins, and that's the end of the 3rd example featuring envelope art stamp set. Thanks Lydia for the anemone inspiration. So that's it. Envelope art pairs so well with any of Altenew's florals, whether it's a layering die, outline, or Build-A-Flower. These are just 3 of the many florals Altenew offers. I hope you enjoyed today's perfect pairing. I always love hearing what some of your older favorites are in the comments below, so make sure you let me know what you want to see from this series. All the Altenew materials I used in this video can be found in the description box below. While you're there, make sure you like this video, share it with your Altenew friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for tuning in to this Perfect Pairings with Jaycee. Please stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.